The bird weighs less than a handful of soil. The animal beneath it weighs more than 1,000 kilograms. And yet, without the bird, the animal begins to fall apart. Not slowly, not metaphorically. In observable, measurable ways, across every square centimeter of hide from the horn bases down to the knee creases. The oxpecker is not a passenger on the buffalo's back. It is something closer to a maintenance system. Every oxpecker begins in a hollow, a dead tree, a fence post eaten through by years of rain, a crack in a granite face. The nest site is chosen for depth and shadow, not beauty. The female lays between 2 and 5 eggs, pale and finely spotted, in a shallow cup of grass and animal hair. The hair comes from the same large bodies she will spend her life cleaning. She pulls it from shoulders, from neck wrinkles, from the thick folds behind the ears. It is already a transaction, even before the eggs are warm. Both parents sit. The male takes the early hours of the morning when the air is still cold and the savanna is quiet. The eggs need 12 to 13 days of continuous warmth. In many observations, one parent is always present. The nest stays dark, the eggs stay still. Outside, the herd moves across the floodplain, gathering flies, gathering wounds, gathering the slow accumulation of damage that the hatchlings will one day be born to address. The chick that breaks through first is blind. Its skin is still bare, its eyes are still sealed, its neck is too weak to lift its own head. It weighs almost nothing, but within hours the second chick follows, and the third. The hollow fills with small, urgent sounds. Both parents now leave the nest to feed, returning with crops full of ticks, blood-swollen and hard-shelled, pulled from the flanks of zebra, from the groin folds of wildebeest, from the ear canals of buffalo. This is what the young are fed from the beginning. 7 days into the nesting period, the herd at the waterhole carries the full weight of their absence. A bull stands at the edge of the water, shaking his head. The flies have had a week without interruption. Around the base of both horns, the skin is raw. Along the shoulder crests and the wide saddle of his back, clusters of ticks sit in various stages of engorgement, their mouthparts buried, their bodies swelling. He cannot reach them. His tail sweeps, his skin twitches. Neither solves anything. A single engorged tick consumes its own weight in blood over several days. Hundreds feeding at once represent a drain the animal's body registers as fatigue. The hide around each attachment point becomes inflamed. The ear canal, where the skin is thinnest, shows the worst of it. The bull turns his head and drags his left ear along the rough bark of an acacia. The earfold tears slightly. The wound is small. It will not stay small. Back in the hollow, the young are growing faster than seems possible. Their eyes have opened, their first true feathers, red-billed yellow around the base of the bill, are pushing through the down. One chick reaches the lip of the hollow and looks out across an enormous country it has never seen. The parents arrive, land, transfer food, and leave again. Each departure is a lesson in what this life requires. The young watch the direction of every departure. The herd is that way. The fledglings leave over 2 days. They are not graceful. Their first landings are sideways, clutching at bark, slipping on smooth hide. But the behavior is already present, already complete. One juvenile lands on the neck of a zebra mare and begins moving its bill through the coat in the short, scissoring motion it has never been taught. It finds a tick within 40 seconds. It pulls. The tick resists. The tick loses. The juvenile swallows and moves 3 centimeters forward. The mare does not react. She is used to this. The young oxpecker finds a buffalo by late afternoon. It works its way up from the shoulder, across the neck wrinkles, and arrives at the ear. It lowers its head inside. This is the moment the bird was made for. The dark channel where ticks shelter away from sunlight and reach, where larvae accumulate in the thin folded skin. Where a wound like the bull's tear from 6 days earlier has already begun to crust. The bird works carefully. The earfold is cleaned in under 4 minutes. The bull stops shaking his head. His ear stops twitching. The skin around the tear is still inflamed, still tender, but the source of irritation inside the canal is gone. The bird moves to the base of the horns. It moves to the saddle of the back. It finds what a week of absence left behind. The bull stands still in a way he has not stood still in 7 days. Almost as if something that had been running had finally been switched off. In the days that follow, the rest of the fledglings find hosts. The herd absorbs them. A younger female accepts 2 birds simultaneously, 1 on each flank. A calf, still learning to walk properly, stands with 1 juvenile on its neck, patient and unmoving. The tick burden does not disappear overnight. The inflammation at the horn bases takes longer. The ear tear will leave a small permanent notch in the skin, but the accumulation stops. What was building reverses its direction. In nature, survival is not always determined by size or speed. It is sometimes determined by a bird that weighs less than a handful of soil, landing on the ear of an animal that outweighs it by 1,000 times and staying there. The hollow in the granite face already holds new eggs. The savanna outside is the same as it always was. The herd stands in the late light, still and quiet. Covered in small birds. And the ear, that first sight of intimacy, that first sight of damage, is clean.